Welcome! In this playthrough, Marvel Champions the card game, Thor and Spider-Man take on Rhino in Expert mode with a little help from MODOK. So to finish our setup, we've got Rhino 2 and 3 in play. So starting out with a scheme of 1, attack of 3. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the break and a take inside scheme. Reveal it and shuffle the encounter deck. 15 health per player. So we've got him set up to 30 health. Already pulled out the break and a taken scheme, so when revealed, place an additional threat per player here. It's got the hazard icon giving us +1 encounter card, so it's going to have 4 threat on it. Then our main scheme here, the break-in. So for the contents, we're doing expert, so we've got Rhino 2 and 3. We've got the standard sets in there, and then the 3 expert cards. For the modular set, we're not using Bomb Scare. We've got MODOK in there instead. And then for our threshold, 7 threat per player, so 14 on here. Stage completed, and the players lose the game. So giving the encounter deck one last shuffle. And then our heroes for Thor. And Spider-Man. And for Thor, it's got a recovery of 4. Worthy action, search your deck and discard pile for the Mjolnir upgrade. Add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. Hand size of 5 and hit points of 14. On his hero form, thwart of 1, attack and defense of 2. Have at the response. After you engage a minion or one engages us, we'll draw 2 cards and a hand size of 4. For Peter Parker, recovery of 3. He's got a scientist resource ability. Generate a mental resource once per round. Hand size of 6, hit points of 10. Thwart of 1, attack of 2, defense of 3. Spider Sense interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, we'll draw a card. And a hand size of 5 on this side. So for our setup, we'll get 5 cards here. And I'm good with getting an ally quick and resources. I'm also good with combat training, but I don't think we're going to have the resources to pay for it. So we'll just see what else we can draw into. And then for Peter, well, going to keep that. Under surveillance is good. Increase the target value of attached scheme by 4. And then, of course, I want to keep all these, but I definitely don't have the resources for it. So maybe just keep back, flip there, and see what else we can get with the other 3. Okay. So ready to get started. Thor's going to go find his hammer to give him +1 attack and gain the aerial trait. Then flipping over, we're going to go ahead and put our hammer in play. Along with Mockingbird with these 3 resources. And after she enters play, we stun an enemy. We'll pick Rhino. Then we'll have Thor attack for 3, so down to 27. And we'll have her thwart to take 1 off of this. Then we'll put Heroic Intuition in play. Our hero will get +1 thwart. So this will be 1. We'll use our mental resource for the other one. Then we're going to put Under Surveillance in play with these 2. So attached to the main scheme, increase the target value by 4. Then we will flip over and thwart for 2. And end her turn. So Thor draws up to 4. We've got this in hand. We'll go ahead and discard it. And Spider-Man draws up to 5, keeping this. So for Rhino, 2 threat. Then he'll attack on Thor, get rid of his stunned. Initiate attack on Spider-Man, which allows us to draw a card. We'll defend. So base 3 attack, 4/5 coming our way. We block 3, so we end up taking 2. Then we're going to deal out our normal 2 encounters plus 1 more. So that didn't work out well for us. Obligation. May flip to our alter ego form, which we can, but we can't exhaust. So discard 1 card at random from your hand. This card gains surge. Discard this obligation. So that's what we'll choose to do. We'll stay in hero form. And we're losing for justice. And it gains surge, so another card for Thor. Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. So Rhino's going to attack. We'll have Mockingbird jump in the way. So 3, 4, 5. So she served her purpose, I guess. Next, another card with Surge. So attached to a minion with the highest printed hit points and without another biomechanical upgrade attached. So no target, so this will get discarded. But if we did, when attached minion would be defeated, heal all damage from it instead, then discard this card. But we still have Surge, so yet another encounter card. When revealed, Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains Surge. So he does heal back up to 30. And how many cards are we going through this round? Too many. All right, master plan. When revealed, place 4 threat on each side scheme. There are no side schemes in play. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded and reveal that side scheme. Well, we've got one. So that would just go from 1 to 5. We'll move first player over and see if we can recover from a terrible first round. I think we'll just put surveillance team in play. This will get 3 counters on it. We'll exhaust this, remove a counter to remove 1 threat from a scheme. So there's our 2 resources. And we'll go ahead and use it. Take this back down to 4. Then we have Thor attack for 3. Down to 27. Then we'll bring in Lady Sif. Thor to 2, attack of 2. After she enters play, we ready Thor or Odinson. So there's our 4 resources. And then Thor will attack again for 3. And then she is going to thwart for 2. And that will end our turn. We'll go ahead and keep these. Drawing 3 more. And Thor will draw up to 4. A lot of aggression there. So in the main scheme, going from 2 to 4. Rhino will attack. Thor's just going to let it come through. So base 3, 4 damage. Down to 10. Then he'll attack on Spider-Man, allowing us to draw a card. Go ahead and defend. So 4 damage coming our way. We block 3, so down to 7. Then encounter cards, plus 1. So the Shocker comes out. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each hero. Down to 6 and 9. And Shadow of the Past, Treachery card. That's why we keep things like that. So we'll pay the first aid. Hero interrupts or in hero mode. Treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck. Cancel its when revealed effects. So that would have brought out the Vulture and some more nasty stuff, but instead it doesn't. And then for Thor, another Treachery when Rhino attacks. Yeah, just don't want to deal with that either. So I'll go ahead and stop that one. Not nearly as bad, but we don't want him taking tons of damage. So Thor becomes first player. Lady Sif is going to thwart for 2. Thor will attack for 3 to get rid of the shocker. Then we'll go ahead and bring in the Hulk with this. So attack of 3's force response. After he attacks, discard the top card of your deck. If that card's printed resource has, depending on the resource it has, it's going to do some different things. So in 3 damage. And we get a strength. So that's going to do 2 damage to an enemy. So take Rhino down to 19. Put a damage on the Hulk. Then we'll go ahead and put in our Asgard weapon. So as a response, after your hero attacks an enemy, spend a physical resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we're going to go ahead and use Surveillance Team. Move a counter to remove a threat. Spider-Man's going to flip over. And that's all they're going to be able to do. So Thor will be drawing 4 cards. And Peter Parker will get 6. Got these 2 in hand. We're going to let Jessica go for now and just get 5. So this is what we've got to work with. So 2 threat. Rhino will attack. We'll defend. So 3 damage coming our way. We block 2 and just take 1. Then he will scheme for 1, 4. So up to 9. Then at least we're down to hopefully just 2 encounter cards. So he's getting a charge, plus 3 attack. When he attacks, the attack gains overkill. At the end of this attack, discard charge. And then Stampede. We're in alter ego form, so we gain Surge here. The Doomsday Chair. If MODOK is not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for MODOK. Put him into play, engage with you, then shuffle the encounter deck. We're getting 8 threat. So that's a bit annoying. Don't believe we've seen him. There he is. All right, Scheme of 2, attack of 2, 8 health, and retaliate 2. So, kind of sucks. If we deal with him, we lose 8 damage that should have went over there. But if we don't deal with him, he's going to dish some stuff out. So Peter becomes first player. So we're going to put Black Cat in with these 2 resources. So thwart of 1, attack of 1, 2 health. After you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Add each card with a printed mental resource discarded that way into your hand. So I think it actually has to be the mental resource. Wilds doesn't work for that, only when we're spending the resources. Then we're going to bring Mockingbird into play with 2 resources there and his free one. And she's going to stun an enemy. which will be Rhino. Then Black Cat will thwart for 1. As will Mockingbird. And our surveillance team. Peter's going to have to recover. So going up to 9. Then he'll go ahead and flip. So for Thor, I'm going to put in God of Thunder, giving us a hero resource. We can exhaust this to generate an energy resource. Then we'll have Lady Sif thwart for 2. And Hulk will attack Rhino for 3, so down to 16. And see what else happens here. So 1 damage to everybody. So I don't believe these extra things is part of the attack. It just says deal 1 damage. So 15, 1, down to 7, down to 8. She'll take that one because that's going to be enough to take her out. 1 on Lady Sif, which will end her day. And 1 for Hulk attacking and his own ability. Then he's going to flip over. So we're going to draw 5 cards for Spider-Man. All right, we need some thwarting things finally. And 5 cards for Thor. We're going to keep his helmet. I'm going to get the base 2 plus another 1. So we're up to 12 there. Rhino's going to attack, but he's stunned, so nothing happens from that. But MODOK will swing for 2. I think we'll just take it. Then he'll scheme here, so base 1, 2 more. So 14, thank goodness we have under surveillance. So Rhino is going to become tough. And we're an alter ego, so this gets Surge. And that's terrible. So this gets Surge. We're going to attach it to MODOK. So now he's got 16 health. We've got 1 damage on him. And if we were to deal the 8 damage, this goes away. All right. Not too good there. And first player moves over. So Thor's going to heal for 4, up to 11. Then we'll flip over. We're going to bring in the helicarrier for 3. We can exhaust this, choose a player. We're going to choose ourselves. Reduce the resource cost of the next card we play by 1 this phase. So this cost 1. We'll use God of Thunder to put this in, giving us plus 5 health. So up to 16. Then we'll have the Hulk swing into Rhino, which will get rid of the toughness. And then see what else happens. 1 damage to everybody. Down to 14. Put 1 there. Mockingbird goes away. And he's going to end up taking 2 more, so he'll go away. So we're going to play for Justice. Using these 2 resources. Means we can remove 4 threat from a scheme. So we're going to get rid of these 3. Then we're going to thwart for 2. And end her turn. So Thor will be drawing 4 cards. Spider-Man goes up to 5. Let's see. I think we'll get rid of Daredevil and draw 3 more. So we haven't even finished well, halfway done on the first version. This is a problem and his health is a problem. So first we get 2 threats. So 14 out of 18. Then he'll attack on Thor. So 6, 7, 8 damage. So down to 7. Charge will go away at least. Then he'll initiate an attack on Spider-Man, letting us draw a card. Then swing for 3 damage, which we're going to backflip away from. Then MODOK can hit us for 2. Get some encounter cards. So an armored Rhino suit. So attach the Rhino, force interrupt. When any amount of damage would be dealt to Rhino, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard armored Rhino suit. And a gang up. We're in hero form. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. All right, that's going to be it for Spider-Man, I do believe. Well, first, he initiates an attack on Spider-Man. Thor's going to have to jump in the way of that. So 3, 4, 5 damage. We're blocking 2, so 3, so down to 4. Then the minion comes in. I think we're just going to take it. And Spider-Man with 1 health becomes first player and Thor down to 4. It's not looking promising. So we're going to put in a web shooter. So it gets 3 counters. We can exhaust this to remove a web counter and generate a wild resource. Then we're going to put in a surveillance team, getting 3 counters, which does pretty much the same thing, except we remove threat. Then we're going to go ahead and do that. Then we're going to do a swinging web kick. So here's 2 and the 3rd resource. To do 8 damage to Rhino, taking him down to 6. Actually, stays at 14. That 8 damage goes on here. Then we'll discard this card. Then first, I stand a chance at all. We're going to have to use him to thwart for 2 because he's got a flip over. And for Thor, we'll make the next card to play cheaper. Put in Asgard, increasing our hand size. So that'll be a resource. That's our 2nd. Then we're going to play Downtime on Peter Parker to give him +2 recovery. And we've got a flip over. So for cleanup here, yep, I think this was our last turn. 6 cards. It's going to get us an extra encounter card. So we've got 5. All right, well, Aunt May's going to help if we last another turn, and we just don't have enough health to, well, we've got a lot of healing going on here. Not a lot of dealing with threat. And then he's going to draw 6. Additional hit points matter. Like I said, if we survive this next turn. So we're getting 2. So So 6, 7, 8, 13. It's going to scheme for 3. Well, schemed here, now scheming here. Another 3. So that's 16. And MODOK takes it to 18. So the combination of an Expert Rhino and MODOK. And what was his scheme he had coming out? The Doomsday Chair did not go well for our superheroes. So that's a good look of how to lose terribly at Marvel Champions the card game. Thor and Spider-Man did not do a very good team up, because it definitely couldn't have been my fault. So with that, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.